guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do just a quick little video right before I see the Batman tomorrow. That's why I don't have my normal setup or any type of anything. I just wanted to hurry up and get this out before I see the movie tomorrow, because I had this video planned for a while. I just never got around to filming it because I had other things I got to film. So I just wanted to get this out there real quickly. That's why just have a camera and a mic. Wanted to get this out there. But I wanted to get out my top 5 things I'm really fucking excited for in the new Batman, which I can't wait to see it tomorrow. I can't wait. So, but before we get into the top 5, leave your top 5 down below. I would love to hear your top 5 reasons why you're excited for this movie, because there's a lot to be excited for about this movie. So I wanted to get out the way real quick. My honorable mentions. I got 3. Starting up, number 1, Catwoman. I think Zoe Kravitz is gonna be a very good Catwoman. Now, we haven't gotten, if you've seen this already, my Dark Knight Rises review is out. Go watch that. I'll probably go into more of Catwoman and how I feel about Anne Hathaway. But just to sum it up here, I thought Anne Hathaway was a fine Catwoman. She wasn't anything too crazy. She wasn't anything memorable. She was just an alright Catwoman. I still say the best version of Catwoman we ever had on screen was Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, if you watch my Batman Returns video, you'll know I didn't necessarily love Michelle Pfeiffer that much as Catwoman. I love her as Catwoman, but the Catwoman character in Batman Returns didn't do enough for me. I thought she was great. I loved her as Catwoman, but I think the story of Catwoman in that movie was very messy. So I still think she is the best Catwoman, but I don't also necessarily think we've had a very comic accurate portrayal of Catwoman, because Batman Returns' Catwoman wasn't very accurate at all. It was Tim Burton's interpretation of Catwoman. So I'm hoping that this is actually a comic accurate version of Catwoman, not just whatever the fuck Tim Burton's was. And then Anne Hathaway's was not even necessarily Catwoman. It was just I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be realistic, but it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything holy shit, Catwoman. It was just, okay, that's a girl in a tight leather suit who knows how to rob people. It's not necessarily Catwoman. So, outside of that, I'm very excited for Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I hope she's exactly like she is in the comics. I hope she plays the character how we've never seen Catwoman before. Now, I'm not asking for anything crazy. I'm not asking for over the top fucking thing, but just a Catwoman who bounces well off of Batman, who bounces well off of the, because they've always had an on and off again relationship. I hope she comes up very flirty, very, very intense when she needs to be, and is always kind of like how Chloe is in Uncharted, if you ever seen it, where she is, yes, pulling strings, but she's also, people are pulling her strings as well. So it's a constant, she's not above everybody, but she is above certain people. So I hope I hope they play her right. I hope Zoe Kravitz pulls off the role. She looks awesome in the trailers. When I've seen her in Batman fight and just her outfit in general, I love it. So I'm excited for her. She's in my honorable mentions. She's not in my top 5, but she's in my honorable mentions. Number 2 is Jim Gordon, actually. Now, I've always liked Jim Gordon. I didn't really fall in love with Jim Gordon until the Nolan trilogy, because I prefer that version of Jim Gordon. But the Jim Gordon, the Burton movies, serviceable, fine. Jim Gordon in Snyderverse, I actually like. J.K. Simmons, I thought he looked really good. I'm actually kind of excited that they're bringing him back for Batgirl now, which I don't know if I'll ever get my thoughts out about how I feel about the DCEU right now. But while I don't like how they're going direction-wise in the DCEU, I like that they're keeping J.K. Simmons as Jim Gordon, because I actually thought he did a pretty good, serviceable job in Justice League. So I'm happy that they kept him. But with this new Jim Gordon, I like him. I think Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon looks awesome. He has very much that broodiness, that toughness that I think Jim Gordon needs to have. And I'm very excited to see the dynamic between Jim Gordon and Batman. So far, the clips we've seen, it looks spot on. It looks accurate. The Jim Gordon that they're pulling from is from Batman Year One, which I have that comic right over there. And if Jeffrey Wright plays Jim Gordon like he is in Batman Year One, it'll be fucking awesome. Because I loved Commissioner Gordon, Jim Gordon. I love Jim Gordon in that original movie or book. I love him in that original Batman Year One book and the animated movie. So if Jeffrey Wright plays Jim Gordon just like that, how he was in the book or in the animated movie, hey, I will not complain. So yeah, he looks awesome like Jim Gordon. I can't wait to see the dynamic between him and Batman. I can't wait to see how he operates. And I don't think he is a commissioner in this movie just yet. I think he's still just a part of the police department. I don't think he's anything like crazy. But I'm definitely excited to see Jim Gordon in this movie as well. So that's why he's in the honorable mentions. Last honorable mentions before we get into the top five is actually Gotham City. I'm excited about Gotham City. I love when a new Batman movie comes out and we get a new interpretation of Gotham City. You know, you have Burton's where it's a very gothic, very crazy, zany type of Gotham City. Then you had Nolan with the dark, serious, really realistic world, which I mean, he shot it in Chicago, so it looks like Chicago. And then you had the Snyderverse, where Gotham, which we didn't get much of Gotham, sadly, but we got enough to where we can kind of see what the world's like, and it was cool. I definitely would have loved to seen more though, in like Ben Affleck's The Batman or wherever the Batman was going to pop up, because that Gotham City did look interesting. The amount of little bit we saw, like in Batman v Superman, when Clark went to go visit Gotham City, and the little sections we had of Batman doing his thing in Gotham City. They looked really, it looked interesting. It looked like a mix between Burton's and Nolan's Gotham City. So, but the Gotham City in the Batman, it looks honestly looks awesome. I can't wait to see it. Like I said, that's one of my favorite things when we get a new Batman interpretation. I love to see how they interpret Gotham City, because like I said, you can go many different directions. You can go where Tim Burton did, where you do a more gothic, crazy, Nolan. You can go so many different ways. So, but the direction that they're going with Gotham City in this newer movie, it has me excited because it looks like it's going to be a combination between Nolan and Snyder, because you have that dark, realistic take that Nolan had, and then you have the kind of the I guess you can say the middle road that Snyder had, where it's like it's dark and bleak, but it looks like Sin City, kind of, where it looks like a miserable place to live. And Gotham City kind of looks like that in this movie. It looks like a 1960s, 70s, really dark and gritty fucking town, and it looks awesome. I mean, like I said, we don't get necessarily clear shots of the city or anything like like that, but the shots we've seen of the city, it looks really awesome. So I can't wait to see how Gotham City operates in this movie, and if it actually feels like a lived-in city, not just a oh okay whatever. It's just it's Chicago but with Batman in it, like something crazy like that. So I'm excited for those three. Those are my three honorable mentions. So now we're gonna get into the actual top five. Now my number five is the car. I have it right over here on a little display case right over here. I'm excited for the car. I'm going to try to do a video after the Batman comes out, ranking all the cars and ranking all the bat suits in the movies. And I can already tell without even seeing the movie, which the movie might even upgrade it a little bit more. I can already tell without even seeing the movie that this car is going to be in my top three. Like it's a badass fucking car. Like I love it already. I love the look of it. I love the simplicity of it. I love the feel, like I didn't say the feel of it, but yeah, it feels like a fucking like powerhouse car. Like you can just tell this thing's just gonna run through fucking buildings and shit. Like I can't wait to see it. Now, why I do love Burton's car and I do love the Tumbler, and of course I love Ben Affleck's car. I really am excited to see what this car can do. Like, if it has some tricks up its sleeves, if it has some, like, maybe some, not necessarily guns, but just some, like, gadgets in the front end or in the back or somewhere. I'm just really curious to see what's underneath, like, this car, other than if it's just a car that can just run through shit and run criminals off the road, or if it's got some gadgets to it, if it's got some, maybe some technology in the front base. I've seen pictures of the inside when it kind of looks like a Batman car, but I'm curious to see if there's any, like, kind of like in the Tumbler where you had, like, little monitors and shit like that, if it has anything like that going on in there. So I'm really excited for the car. I can already tell there's going to be some badass action sequences with the car. So far, when we see in the trailer, like with the Penguin and the Batman car, that looks like it's going to be an awesome scene. Yeah, I can't wait for the fucking car. Like, it's going to be awesome. Definitely know it's going to be in my top three. It might even be my favorite, honestly. I don't know. The Ben Affleck car is badass. I fucking love that car. So the number four would actually, kind of a shocker, but my number four is actually the tone and atmosphere. I can't, like, from the day I saw the trailer, from the day I saw the test footage, the footage that they showed of Robert Pattinson in the suit for the first time, we got our very first look at the movie. Ever since I saw that, I've been excited for the tone and atmosphere of this movie. I've been so excited because it looks like a gritty, grindhouse fucking serial killer movie, and I can't fucking wait for that. Like an actual horror gothic movie with the Batman in it. I can't wait for that. Like, the combination between, like, Seven, Zodiac, movies like that, like Prisoners, it just has that vibe to it where it's just like, God, I can't wait to be in it. I can't wait to see Riddler doing some crazy dark shit, and then Batman going that crazy dark direction, and just the tone, the cinematography, the look of this movie, I can't wait to fucking live in. I can't. Like it looks so good. It literally looks like a horror movie. And you guys know I'm a big horror fan. It looks like a Batman horror movie, and I can't wait. I can't fucking wait to see that because I want to see that. I've always said that ever since I saw Snyder, where it's like Ben Affleck would have been awesome in a grounded, dark, fucked up horror Batman movie because he has that look to him, he has that presence, he has that big bulkiness to him. And if you can find someone that matches that, like a Deathstroke, and then just do a dark, serious, like thriller with those two versions, with that Batman and Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke, that would have been an awesome movie. And so when I see this and I see Robert Pattinson going up against the Riddler in a dark, serious, fucked up mystery serial killer movie, it just has me excited. It just has me so excited because I want to see a darker Batman. I love Michael Keaton Batman, and he's dark, but he's not dark enough for me. I love Nolan's Batman, but he's too realistic for me, not enough comic booky. I love Snyder's Ben Affleck because he's kind of a mix of both. He has that bulky toughness of him, and then he also has that dark and serious that Nolan had. And then just in general, just the way fucking Ben Affleck looked in the suit was just badass. So I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see the tone and atmosphere that this movie's going to bring. And then number 3, going right into it, since we're speaking about the Batman, is Robert Pattinson as Batman himself. A lot of people gave him shit when he first came out, and I can understand why, but I'm always one of those, and I think I've said it here on the channel before, I'm one of those, I don't complain until I see whoever the fuck they casted in the role, in the suit, in whatever. You know, everybody was getting Tom Holland shit when he was casted as Nathan Drake. Now, was I taking a step back when I saw that? Of course. I was like, the fuck? But then I saw him in the outfit. He looked like Nathan Drake. Saw him in the movie, and if you see my review, you know he didn't do bad. So I did the exact same thing with Robert Pattinson as Batman. I saw it, took a step back, and go, okay, let's see it. I want to see him in the suit first. I want to see him in action. I want to see him do things before I judge. You know, because you can look at a picture of anybody, like let's use Heath Ledger's Joker for an example. You look at a picture of Heath Ledger in like movies like She's All About, She's Out of My League, or whatever the fuck, that 10 Things I Hate About You, and Brokeback Mountain and all that. And you look at that guy and you go, Joker and that guy do not mix. Like, you look at that guy and you're like, I'm trying to imagine you in like white makeup and, you know, purple and all that. And then you see him in that and you're like, oh, he actually does look like the Joker. So it's the same thing with Robert Pattinson as the Batman. I wasn't going to judge, wasn't going to hate on it until I actually saw him in the fucking suit. In the suit, in action, actually doing shit. And when I saw in that test footage, I knew immediately this was going to be badass. I knew immediately this was going to be my favorite Batman. Now, my favorite Batman is Ben Affleck's Batman because, again, hulky, bulkiness, I love it. But this, honestly, every footage I've seen him in, every poster, anything you can think of that Robert Pattinson's Batman's been on, I've seen it and I love it. So you're telling me 3 hours of that dude in that costume kicking ass? This might be my favorite Batman. Honestly, like, I love the bat suit. I love the fucking voice. I love the tone. I love everything that Robert Pattinson's bringing to this Batman. I'm in fucking love. Like, my most watched trailer of all time is the Robert Pattinson Batman trailer. Like, the first one they popped out at Fandom that year. That I've seen that, I know, at least 80 times. Like, I've constantly, every other week for like a nonstop when that trailer came out, I would just watch it. I would just be like, all right, we're bored, let's watch the Batman trailer. So I fucking love that trailer. Love it with all my heart. And I love him as Batman so far. Like, I haven't seen the movie, and I'm not one of those to really judge before I start, like, this is my favorite, this is the best. I don't like to do that. I don't like to jump ahead. I don't like to, jump that gun. But it's really hard when you see shit that you really are falling in love with in the trailer, in a poster, in wherever, that you're falling in love with. And it's hard to not do that. It's hard to not be like, this might be my favorite, maybe. So it's really hard to do that. So, but I'm trying my best not to jump that gun. I might watch the movie and be completely different on how I feel about the Batman. But honestly, everything I've seen from this guy, I'm in fucking love. I'm in love with his Batman. So, not necessarily going to say he's my favorite Batman just yet. Haven't seen the movie, but he's so like razor thin close to being right that number 1. He's definitely my number 2 for right now. He's sitting at a comfortable number 2 because I haven't seen him yet, but he's definitely better than all the other Batmans I've seen. But he's already there. He's still not going to top Ben Affleck just yet because I haven't seen him in action. If I see him in action, he's better than Ben Affleck. You'll see in my Batman ranking. But for right now, he's sitting at comfortable number 2 until I see the movie. But he has potential to be the best Batman like ever. And then number two is the tech and new gadgets. That's anything with the new Batman movie. Everybody's excited to see the new tech and the new gadgets. I'm excited for this one because of everything I'm hearing that he builds his own tech. He builds his own gadgets. It's not like how it is in Nolan where you have Lucius Fox building his shit and you have, and the Michael Keaton ones where you had, I want to say it was Alfred, but I'm not too sure. They never explained in the Michael Keaton ones who was building his tech. It could have been Alfred. It could have been himself. No, they didn't really explain. And the same thing with Snyder. Alfred was making his tech. So I'm excited to see a Bruce Wayne himself making his own tech again, making his own gadgets, actually hands-on with what he's making and just making it out of like scraps and shit that's from Gotham, auto garage shops and shit. I'm excited to see that. And I'm excited to see the new techs and the new get because like I've seen in the trailer like this little grapple hook. When he pops it out, it comes out of his arm. It comes out of his arm right here, and that's already pretty cool. He doesn't have like a utility belt or anything. It pops out of his arm like that. Same thing with his same thing with his batarangs. Like the logo here that you see, this is on his chest. He just like pops it off, and they're like he can throw it, or he can put it together and throw it. And I like that. He doesn't pull batarangs out of his utility belt and throw it or anything crazy. The batarangs on his chest right here, and he can just pull it off and put it together when he wants. So I'm excited for the tech and the new gadgets of this movie. So once again, that's anything with a new Batman movie. You're always excited for the new tech they're going to bring, the new gadgets they're going to bring, So I'm very excited about that just because this is a more grounded, more realistic version of the Batman where he's making his own parts, he's making it out of scraps and all that. So I'm excited to see the new gadgets and the new tech. Now, the number one thing that I've been excited for since the day they announced this guy, since the day that they showed a picture, since the day I've seen him in the trailer, I've been like, yes, 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 1,000 times yes, give it to me now. I want to watch it. Is Paul Dano as the Riddler. I can't ungodly wait for him as the Riddler. Are you telling me a serial killer realistic version of the Riddler? That's like the Zodiac killer? Sign me up. Sign me the fuck up, please. Like I love the Riddler. I do. I really do. He's always been one of my favorite Batman villains. He's in my top 3. I love the Riddler. And I love the Riddler how he is in the Arkham games because he kind of has that Zodiac vibe to him in the Arkham games. He's a little more darker. Now again, and you'll see when I rank the Batman movies, I'll talk in depth about Batman Forever, which I didn't review on the channel. But Jim Carrey as the Riddler was fine. He was playing a version of the Riddler I didn't really necessarily like, which is that zany 1960s Adam West Riddler. But the Riddler in this one, I'm already in love. Just like Robert Pattinson's Batman, I'm already in love. I love the voice. I love the way he looks. Like, now I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw an actual image of him in the thing, I was kind of taken back. I was like, the fuck? That's weird. But then I've gotten very comfortable with it. I've gotten very, 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 very much comfortable with it. I'm like, that looks great. That actually looks good. That looks like an actual serial killer mask that you would see on like the news or something. Like it looks awesome. And I can't and the fact that they're taking inspiration from Heath Ledger's Joker with how he's on the news and he's doing his cam footage and he's like, recording videos for Batman and shit, just like how Heath Ledger did. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be so fucking cool. So Paul Dano's the Riddler is the number one thing I'm excited for, and I'm really hoping that he nails it. Now I've heard already because reviews embargo is already lifted that he's not in the movie that much, which is fine. Not asking him to be in it 90% of the movie because this is a Batman movie, which a lot of Batman movies, definitely the Batman himself gets overshadowed by his villains, which mainly happens in the Nolan trilogy. But I'm excited for a movie that actually has Batman in the forefront and the Riddler second, because that's how it should be. But yeah, no, I'm just ecstatic for Paul Dano as the Riddler. I hope he nails it. And the reason why I was excited for his casting as soon as I heard it was because when I watched the movie Prisoners, which you haven't seen the movie Prisoners, go and check it out. In that movie, I thought, dude, this guy would play a perfect Riddler. Like he has that weirdness to him. He has that sickness to him. He has that kind of like, you can tell that he's kind of fucked up, but you can tell that he's also kind of like a little dumb. So I'm like, I knew as soon as they announced Paul Dano is the Riddler for Matt Reeves' The Batman, I was like, fuck yeah. Because he was fucking awesome in Prisoners. He had that vibe to him. He had that fucking serial killer vibe to him in Prisoners. So yeah, Paul Dano's the Riddler. I'm fucking ecstatic for, and I hope they don't kill him off, please. I hope they don't kill him off so we can get more of him because I want to see more of him if he doesn't die. And if he does die in this movie, I won't complain, but I want to definitely see more of Paul Dano as the Riddler. So yeah, that's my top 5 for the Batman. I can't wait to see it tomorrow night. I'm fucking ecstatic. I can't wait to get my spoiler out and my non-spoiler, and I really hope I walk out of this movie fucking loving it, honestly. Just because this is probably my most anticipated movie of the year. It's really hard. This or Halloween Ends is like neck and neck, fucking razor thin. But I can't fucking wait for the Batman in 2 days. So you leave your if you haven't seen the movie already and you're like me, ecstatic and just want to already talk about this movie without actually talking about it. Put your top 5 down below of the top 5 things you're excited for. And I'll definitely read it and respond to you guys if you do. And as always, I will see y'all over there after the Batman. So peace.